Hi everyone, welcome back to Function Pilates. I'm Vanessa Kelly, founder of Function Pilates and lead master trainer for our teacher training program. Today's reformer workout is just going to go back to beginner. If you are brand new to Pilates, it's just going to be a nice basic flow. If you had in a Pilates studio, in a class, or even just your own private session. I am working on a balanced body piece of equipment here, so I'll make those recommended spring settings for you guys that are working on different models at home. And for those that are new here, welcome. I have over 45 different apparatus workouts on the channel, and they're all organized in the playlist by apparatus. So you have your mat, your reformer, your chair, and your tower / Cadillac workouts there. For those that are interested in becoming a Pilates instructor or just enhancing your own Pilates knowledge and putting your own workouts together, we do offer a virtual teacher training course. We have another one coming up in the fall. If you're interested in learning more about that, let us know. We do 3 courses a year in Arizona in person, so feel free to reach out and click that link in the description box below. If you're interested in becoming a business owner, owning your own Pilates studio, Function Pilates is a groundbreaking franchise. We're registered in over 30 states. If your state's not listed, I'm happy to talk more about how to get started with you on that. I'm going to also link that in the description box below as well. And for those that just want some similar workouts to this one, I will go ahead and place those in the recommended workouts section as well. And for those that want to get started, let's go ahead and begin. Let's go ahead and begin by setting up our footwork series with a medium to heavy weight. And once you've done that, go ahead and lie on your back. I have 2 reds, a green, and a yellow, which add up to about 3.5 springs here. Have a ball handy if you prefer for our series of small props here, and just go ahead and windshield wipe those legs just to get an opportunity to stretch out the low back. Place that ball between the knees if you're using it, and set your heels up on top of the foot bar, parallel, hip distance apart. Taking that exhale to stretch those legs out, and inhale to resist those springs on your way in. Beautiful. Focus on your neutral pelvis so you're not overly imprinting your spine and you're not overly arching the spine. Exhale to press, inhale to return. Nice, comfortable flow here. Let's bring it in halfway and give that ball a tiny squeeze. And if you're not using a ball, just hold and maintain that position and you'll still feel the heat above your knee. And let's bring it back in. So shifting down to your toes, let's lift those heels up. Exhale to press, inhale to bend. Now the goal is to keep those heels in a little bit higher position than normal to challenge our ankles, to strengthen our ankles. But you also want to focus on equal distribution in the feet here. So we want equal weight distribution where you're not overly pressing with your big toe or overly pressing with your pinky toe. Continuing here, about 10 repetitions. Bring it in halfway and give that ball another squeeze. Heels are lifted, ribs are closed, abs are in. Beautiful. Exhale to push out. Drop those heels under for a stretch and continue for another 9 more. Perfect. So dropping those shoulders, palms are flat against the mat, or they can be resting on top of your rib cage here. Nice and slow, with the emphasis being on the up and super controlled on the down. Return and come home. And if you're using a ball, let's transfer it to your heels, your ankles, in your Pilates V. So heels together, toes apart. Exhale, press out. Inhale to return. So our focus is going to be on activating those inner thighs, thinking of lifting up from your pelvic floor. So if you have ever suffered from incontinence or you have weak pelvic floor muscles, really start to take that initiation of strengthening that area. Beautiful. Equal pressure as you hold onto that ball. Bring it in. Halfway, we're going to pull those knees together and open out wide. Super controlled. Carriage should not be moving. You got it. Feel those quads getting on fire. Excellent. Press it out. Drop those heels under. Let's continue with another 10 calf raises here. Take it slow, very intentional. Beautiful. Just take note of your body, that it's not being very jerky, not really creating momentum, and then return home. So we'll take the ball off to the side here just for a moment, and then we're going to set our heels up on top of the foot bar in a externally rotated position. So again, knees are in line with your shoulders. Focus on your feet pressing up against this imaginary wall. So maintaining contact with that wall the entire time. The goal is to avoid rocking your ankles back and forth. That eliminates the strengthening aspect of this exercise. Perfect. Halfway in here, little pulses, small intentional pulses, barely moving the carriage. Get a little deeper as we help to strengthen out those knees and stretch out. Return home. Toes are on, same wide position. Let's elevate those heels. Again, challenge yourself to keep those heels lifted the entire time. Another approximately 10 repetitions here. So focus on your body getting longer. Think of this cone hat at the top of your head, and the very tip of it is reaching to the back of the room. Perfect. Very energetic through the legs, very energetic through those arms. Last set of pulses here. Perfect. On your last one, take it to straight legs, and then let's return all the way back in. So let's move it back to about parallel hip distance apart, and we'll take it to prances. And we're going to drop one heel, come through center. Drop the opposite heel, come through center. Yes. So it's a little slower than our usual running exercise, but you're going to feel the strengthening so much more, especially if you have weaker ankles. Final stretch as you drop those heels under. Let's lift and carefully return in. Perfect. So let's roll off to the side. We're going to change out our spring tension. I'm going to go to a red and a yellow, which is 1 1/4 spring. So it's going to be a medium weight there for our arms and abs series here on our back. And I'm going to play with that ball again. So take that ball between your ankles if you're using one, hands to the ceiling in that sleepwalking position, and exhale to extend. Perfect. So those arms are going to hover right off that bed of the carriage and stretch those fingertips forward. A very neutral wrist here. Now, if you want to add flexion, carefully lifting your head and your chest up. Remember, eyesight is towards your belly button. We're not looking towards the ceiling, and we're dropping those shoulders to create space. Exhale, curl. Inhale, lower down. Take a break if you need it. And we're going to set ourselves up to our T position. Legs in tabletop. And again, I'm going to keep my head down on the first 5 repetitions, but if you are ready to add flexion at any time, go ahead and take that curl up. Perfect. Think of balancing a cup of water on top of your knees here. That's how quiet and still the tabletop position should be. If you're getting any low back pain, pull those knees a little deeper in towards your chest and possibly lift those heels up a little higher. That should help to imprint your spine a little bit more. Take a breather. We're going to go into our next position, legs in tabletop, and we're opening out into our circles. So 5 down circles and then 5 up circles. I'm keeping my head down throughout this series. Again, flexion is optional. See how your body is feeling. Maybe today you need your head down. Maybe tomorrow you want your chest to curl up. If you haven't already reversed that direction, go ahead and do so. Perfect. And then rest again. Take it back up to tabletop here. Curl it up, extend those legs. Let's challenge ourselves here. Again, you can keep your head down throughout this series and just add the extension of the legs. Or if you're ready for this challenge, stay with me. Good. And it's a nice challenge to balance with those heels with the ball. After 5 repetitions, pulse that ball in for 10. Beautiful. Knees to tabletop, arms come up, we rest everything down. So let's try something different here. We're going to focus on balance, Still a very basic exercise, but this can throw off anyone who is new to Pilates. I'm going to take that ball underneath my tailbone, and headrest is definitely going down. Elbows are bent at 90 degrees by the ribs, tabletop those legs. Just a tricep press here. Again, if you're not using a ball, no big deal. You can continue to do the tricep press without it. But this will allow you to really tune in to your abdominal muscles. So think belly button to spine. Exhale, extend those arms straight. Inhale to bend. We want to co-contract, meaning we want our bicep and our tricep to be working at the same time. So let's add to some challenge here. Extend one leg and lower and lift the leg without teeter-tottering off the ball. Maybe about 3 times lower and lift. Bend the knee in, extend that leg out. We're going to lift that leg up, lower it down. Lift it up and lower it down. Beautiful. Tabletop that leg. Arms are going to come up. Take a little break. Okay, last variation, a birdie wing tricep press. Tabletop those legs. Exhale. You're just pressing out more at an externally rotated position, but same concept. We want to activate bicep and tricep at the same time. Good. Hug those abs in, really creating stability through your hips here. If your knees aren't pressing together, how much further can they get? Think of a marble. Exhale, extend. Inhale to bend. Beautiful. We're challenging our abs again, so extend one leg out and switch. Simultaneously, pause it there. Let's try it again. 3 more repetitions. Hold. And again, 3, 2, hold. Last time. 3, 2, and return yourself all the way in. Beautiful job. Find that foot bar. Hang those handles up. Carefully remove the ball if you were using it. And then you are going to sit on up. So we're changing our spring tension to 1 medium spring. I have 1 red spring on, which is just equals to 1 spring. And we're switching out into the loops if you are not using your loops. Headrest is going to go all the way to the highest position. And we're going to go into our sideline sleeper series here. That foot is going to, the strap is going to go around the arch of the foot of that top leg, and your bottom leg's just going to go for the ride here as it is bent, resting on that carriage. So as you take that first stretch out, think of pressing and leading with your heel to really activate the entire backside of the leg. More importantly, right into the glutes. We want to line up that top leg with the rest of our body. And really, we want to think about our hips staying stacked the whole time, along with our shoulders remaining stacked. We're exhaling to straighten the leg, inhale to bend. Now let's do it again, but more in that frog position, externally rotated. So the knee is looking up at the ceiling. Think of kicking, or maybe pressing, maybe kicking wasn't the right word, but pressing this heavy box. So again, pressing with your heel, warming up the glutes here. Beautiful. Exhale out, inhale it in. Keep the leg long and straight. Ankles in line with the knee, knees in line with the hip. And you're just pulling your leg back. With control, you're controlling the strap. Don't let the strap control you. And if this is too heavy of a spring, feel free to go down to a half spring or a blue. Exhale, continue to breathe, dropping those shoulders, relaxing your forehead. Perfect. About 10 repetitions on each, and we're going to finish it with 5 small volleyball circles, one way, and then think of a volleyball shape as you reverse 5 circles the other way. Keep breathing, abs are in, Relax the grip if you're hanging onto that peg. And return. Perfect. Let's take our foot out carefully. We're going to stay here for just a moment. Take that hand to the strap, stack your knees over each other, and exhale, press that arm down. Exhale it, float over the hip. Inhale, slowly return up. Nice. About 10 reps here. But our muscle focus is going to be our lats and that serratus anterior. So it's located right underneath your armpit here. And if you don't know where your serratus anterior is, that is the muscle that we use when we are pushing our shopping cart. And return on up. So we're going to take it to the other side once you're ready. Again, if you have an injury or you have a condition where you need to adjust the springs here, make sure you're doing that before we get started. Foot is in that strap. Make sure you are straight, neutral, and stacked. Exhale, we extend. Again, our goal is to really think about the work being developed from the back side of our leg. So we're getting into those hamstrings and we're getting into the glutes here. This is all about strengthening our hips. Beautiful. Our hips, our pelvis is basically what keeps us together nice and strong. Take it into that externally rotated position. Again, think of pressing a heavy box here. But again, our hips also are very important to our core region. Beautiful job. Continue to breathe. And then straight leg here. Exhale. And it's really nice to let that leg go forward as far as you can without losing control to feel that deep hamstring stretch. If for some reason you're hyperextending, go ahead and make a soft bend to your knee so that you feel the muscle and not just live in the joint there. It'll make a complete difference. Beautiful. If 10 repetitions is too much for you, again, vary it from anywhere from 5 to 8, or again, adjusting that spring to make it feel a little comfortable for you. Last set, our volleyball circles, 5 one direction, 5 the other direction. Yes, so just continue to isolate that area. Nice work. And then you're going to go ahead, bring it in, keep those hips and knees stacked, hand goes in the strap, exhale for 10. Good. So careful not to let that wrist go past your shoulder. And instead of focusing on this as an arm exercise, facilitate the movement from underneath the armpit. So even if you have to take your opposite hand to feel that muscle, it should fire up, it should contract. And that's where the movement is coming from. And it really feels a lot different. This is going to help strengthen your back muscles, but also help to realign your shoulder. And we're all accustomed to that if we are on our phones or if we're sitting at a desk. It gets a little bit out of alignment. So let's just stay on that tension. In a standing position, we're going to take a nice Eve's lunge stretch. So finding your lunge, keeping your leg that's on the floor, knee over ankle. Switch it to a hamstring stretch. And then make sure your hips are squared. So pull your right hip forward, left hip back, and see if that feels any different. Arms are straight. We'll try that one more time. So back into your lunge. Again, chest is lifted. Neck is in line with the spine. Fingertips reaching forward. Square those hips. Again, not gripping the foot bar. And then carefully return on in. Okay, so take it to the other side. And we're gonna line up our foot against the shoulder block, one foot on the floor. Again, nice deep stretch there in that hip flexor. Square out those hips and press out. Feel that hamstring stretch get a little bit deeper. And then one more time, we're going to finish it off with another lunge. Maintaining that pause position. Taking this opportunity to breathe. Hamstring stretch when you're ready. Remember, shoulders are down. Relax your jaw. And then let's bring it on in. Okay, so from here we're going into elephant. So carefully, heels are pressing against the shoulder blocks. I'm keeping it on this one red spring. It's a very medium spring. So if this is too light for you, just add another quarter to a half spring on. So notice with this full body integration exercise, the goal is to emphasize the abdominal muscles. So when you start to pull your carriage in, that's the exhalation. Inhale it back, exhale it forward. Now on these last 5, I'm going to lift my toes off the carriage just to create a deeper hamstring stretch. It's optional, so you don't have to participate. But watch those shoulders moving away from your ears and then carefully bringing it back down. Good. Take a nice wide child's pose, adding a little extension into our back here. And then let's go ahead and return up. Perfect. So stepping off, grab a hold of your box. We're going to take it on long ways. It's resting up against the shoulder blocks, and then headrest is going to go down. So have a seat. Feet are securely pressing against the headrest. And then find just one strap for right now. Okay, so sit up tall, shoulders down. Take an inhale to prepare and exhale. Just that left arm, you're pressing back. Now remember, we talked about where those muscles are being facilitated from in that previous sideline series. So trying that again to pull from that muscle. Good. Choke up on the rope. And we're going to pull into a one arm row here. So creating tension as you pull in. Nice and tall, keeping your eyes straight ahead, not looking down, just so that we don't break the neck here. Good. Abs are still strong and pulled in. Then we're going to add a rotation. So again, if you have a healthy spine, you don't have osteoporosis, go ahead with me and rotate. And it should feel really nice to get that stretch here. Again, we don't want false rotation where you're just moving your head. You want the entire torso to go with you. And then set that down and we'll take it to the other side. So nice and tall for me here, guys. Take an inhale to prepare and exhale. See how this feels. It's always nice to go into this one-sided exercise to understand our dominance and weakness. But are you able to facilitate that muscle group like you did on the other side? Maybe it's harder, maybe it's easier. Choke up on that rope, shoulders down. Take an exhale as you draw that elbow back. Good. Beautiful control as you release your arms straight. And we're just doing about 5 of each here. If you want to do more, feel free to add on. But our final part of the series is adding that rotation. Again, this is really nice to check in. Is this feel easier? Do I have more rotation or do I have less here? Good. And then go ahead and hang that up. So we're going to turn ourselves around. We're going to straddle the box. If this is uncomfortable, you can always turn your box to a short box or horizontal. And secure your feet right on top of the carriage. We're going to lift our arms up to about shoulder level. Good. And stabilizing our trunk so that we're not moving our torso forward and back. Perfect. Take it to hug a tree. Nice and strong, where you can just see those fingertips pulling together like magnets right in front of your sternum. Exhaling. And then from here, pitch the torso forward for our salute. And it's as if you were pressing where the wall and the ceiling meet. Elbows are going to stay wide. And focus on the work and the effort being drawn from your triceps. Good. Then we're going to take it into our serving position here. So it's almost like a very fluid, like swimming. So we're adding in that serve to like hug a tree. So a few this direction. And then lower it down. Good work. Hang those up. And then carefully go ahead and step off. So with that, we're going to take the box into short box, horizontal. Foot bar is going to go down. We're going to add all of our springs on and have our safety strap available. That is the fuzzy that you see me grabbing. And secure your foot into the fuzzy or into your strap. Flex your foot. One hand on the headrest, and we're going to take it into a series here. So again, you can always go back to this first part that I'm doing, or if you're feeling good and you want to continue to be challenged, you can go ahead and continue with the next variation. So float that arm, side bend over, take the exhale to come up. Now, with this exercise, it's so important that you stay very stable, that you're not moving your leg. And just about 4 here. Now find that foot bar or the headrest again, and let's add in a little bit of a stretch. So it's still oblique work, but now we're getting a nice long stretch here. Another 4. And then we'll do a final 4 without the secure position of the hand on the headrest. Good. Exhale and exhale. Good. Final twist, rotate, grab a hold of the wooden frame and just hang into the well here. Once you're ready, let's carefully return up and we'll take it to the other side where we're securing our foot. Hand behind the head, look straight ahead. Soften through that elbow. Try not to rely so much on the arm doing the work and actually focus on the oblique work. Float it off if you're ready. Good. And it's almost like this upward position where you're being lifted. Nice. Hand back to the headrest, extend that top arm. Let's just do a nice little stretch. Exhale. Perfect. Shoulders are down, chest is up. And then last 4 here, hover that arm. Good. Keep your eyesight forward, not looking down at your leg. Beautiful. 2 more. Perfect. Add that rotation when you're ready. Stretch it out. Beautiful work here. When you're ready, go ahead and carefully come on off the box. And we're going to finish it with one more exercise here, some extension work for our back. So I'm going to adjust the spring to my lightest spring, which is a yellow. It's a 0.25. And then organize your box back to long here. On your stomach, we're going to have a separation of your ankles a little wider than hip distance apart, so you're not compressing through the low back. And then slowly make sure those thumbs are on top of your rail. You're going to lift your chest up to glide yourself forward. So feel those shoulders and your shoulder blades running down those back pockets. Focus on your neck just getting longer from the backside. And then it's a very energetic and active legs. So they're still, toes are reaching to the opposite side of the room. But squeeze those glutes there to help protect your low back as well. Beautiful. So on this next one, go ahead and scoot forward so that your hips are really far to the edge of the box, just for comfort's sake. And we're doing a modified swan here. So you're going to just let your chest fall into the well and let your legs fly to the ceiling. Beautiful. Nice and easy. And then relax it. Perfect. Just take that final stretch, that final few breaths of accomplishment. And then step off that box to the side, and we will complete our workout with our 2 roll downs. So sweep the arms up. Let's take a dive forward. Reach for the floor. It's an opportunity to check in with the body. Shoulders roll back. One more time there, guys. Roll it down. Good. Slowly returning all the way to standing. Thank you again for watching. And if you liked it, hit a thumbs up, and I'll see you next time.